This is Eric from Out of Darkness, and you're watching Podcast of the Wicked.
So, welcome to Podcast of the Wicked. I'm Metal Rose.
And this is Bill.
Today's guest is Bill Owen, guitarist of Jon Schaffer's Purgatory and Unearthed and other projects too. How you doing today, Bill?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good.
That's awesome.
Oh, we're awesome.
So earlier, I saw that you posted on Facebook that you're at Morris Sound Studios. What's going on?
Well, I'm actually still here. That's what I was just saying. I was going to try to do it out in the studio, but I can't do it right now. But just working on some stuff, helping a friend with some stuff. Nothing, nothing that I'm just help. I didn't even really do a lot of playing. He just wanted me to come in and kind of listen to it with him, and stuff like that.
Nice. That's great. That's cool though.
I always like coming here. Jim's a great guy. This is a great place.
Seems like it. A lot of great music came out of there.
Unbelievable. They're actually having a thing because the older Morse sound, not the original one, but the second one, Hillsborough County is making it like a historical landmark. They're putting up a sign, those green signs you see in places. This is blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, well, that's really cool. Because all the stuff they did there, like you said, they did a lot of stuff in that place. Absolutely. Right outside this door right here, when you in the hallway walking in, there's an Iced Earth gold record right there. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. Alive in Athens gold record. I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Right.
Yep.
So how was the Florida metal scene back when you were recording with Jon?
It was, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of bands here, but sometimes I look at stuff, people, I wouldn't want to give you the wrong idea. It's not like there was a heavy metal bar on every corner or whatever. There was like the Ritz Theater, the Sunset Club was really big, a couple other little places. But don't get me wrong. It was good. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was kind of already, death metal was already starting to kind of creep in, and what we were doing wasn't really what everybody was doing, You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot different. Absolutely. Yeah. So like you guys got back together and recorded that Purgatory album a couple of years ago, and
right.
How did it go when you were doing the re-recording? Like was it any different than recording back in the day? And
oh
yeah.
In every way. We know more what we're doing. We're not in our 20s. Jon, of course, has a way better. Those songs aren't exactly how we did them in 1986 and 87. There's a couple little changes that make it more musically, you know what I mean. And when you're in your 20s, you're just like playing whatever you could play. You don't care. But money. We were just talking about it today, how it all happened. It was so organic, we were just going to do it for fun. We didn't even really, and then all of a sudden Century Media wants to grab it or whoever, and just crazy. But it was fun, definitely fun. Took me by surprise. Jon was like, oh, we should record some of those old Purgatory songs. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, man, it'd be easy. We could do it fast. I don't have to leave on, I forget what tour it was he was leaving on. Incorruptible, maybe. Something. We had like 2 weeks before we left. So we had to, we did that whole performance on that EP in like 8 or 9 days. It was done.
Wow.
Well, the songs were already written.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it was definitely fun, man. So cool. Brought back a lot of memories, and it's so funny because we're here in Morristown right now, and this place is literally 2 blocks away from where we lived back in the 80s. And I told Jon, I said, man, every time we play this Purgatory stuff, we end up in Sulphur Springs somehow. How does that happen? Every time. So it's just kind of ironic, We're literally 2 blocks from where we used to live.
That's so wild.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, that's really wild.
Nice.
So, if it's off limits, I'll clip this out. But
all right.
I saw that John Greely was tagged in the post today. In today's Facebook post. Is he there? Is he there? Like doing
Hold on.
work? Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Close the doors.
Sweet.
There he is. You like his hat?
Hey,
What's going on?
how you doing?
All right.
Thanks again for
Nice.
the awesome
The
record that
Nodula
you
Storm
sent out.
Rider.
Get a chair, man.
guys.
There's got to be a chair somewhere, buddy.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, I was going to try to do it out there, but it's too busy out there right now. So we'll just get it done here. It's all good.
Yeah,
And now you can talk to somebody you really need to talk
they're
to.
recording.
Yeah.
So what's going on down there, John?
Ginger's in there recording her songs with Jim Morris.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're really good
Nice.
songs too.
Is she doing a solo project?
He is, yeah.
Wow.
Her dream songs. Yeah, she's worked really hard for it.
And the songs are so good. They are really, really good. It's
gonna be
unbelievable.
so
I don't listen to a lot of country music. And I woke up, I told John like 2 weeks ago, I'm humming this song. I'm crumbling that cookie at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not kidding.
Thing is, Jim
so
Morris has
exciting.
turned it into rock music too, though.
Wow.
He's in there playing on it right now.
Yeah, he's in there playing his Les Paul on the stuff, and he's turning it into some rock anyway.
It really is. I'm really excited for people to hear it because I mean, even Jim's pretty excited about it. You can tell.
Yeah.
You can really tell.
Great. And Mark's there too.
Nice.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We're excited about it.
Yeah. You got a John Greely bonus. How about that?
Yeah, right.
You win.
Nice.
He's been worried about getting this for you guys today. So it's hard to get it to happen, you know. It's just we're so busy.
I had 8 million excuses why I couldn't do it. The computer doesn't work. This doesn't work. I can't do this. I can't do that.
And you ended up doing it with the computer
So I
anyway.
just said, screw it. I'll do it with the phone.
Yep.
Seems to be working fine.
That's right.
To the last time for me.
John Schaffer
Yep.
couldn't get the computer working either. He had to do it on the phone.
But we're old.
That's right.
We're old.
Old guys.
You know? Computer, I'm like, okay, whatever. This is never going to happen. You know? I'll send you an email. Go ahead. I'll never read it. I'll never see it. No. I'm just not that good with them. Not that good. But anyway, thanks for having me on here, you know, and
You guys
Hey,
are awesome.
Thanks for coming.
thanks for all your, you know, support for this music.
yeah.
It means a lot, man.
It does. And we appreciate you guys doing this too, you know. Spreading the word.
Love you
Well,
guys.
We were talking
Oh, yeah.
last night about how it's kind of like a family tree kind of thing. Because I told him, I said, well, I was never in Ice Earth, not for
Yeah.
5 minutes, you know, but I mean, still,
Yeah, but
it has something to do
if
with,
it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be the Ice Earth there was either, though. So one thing led into
I
the next.
get it. No, I get it.
Led into the
I
next.
understand. So now I'm stuck with
Yep.
them.
We're all together. It's like a big family. And the Morrises, you know, they record us all. So this is the best recording
Yeah.
studio that there is in the country,
In the
world.
that I
maybe.
can think of. I would never
Maybe in
go
the world.
anywhere.
I don't know. It's just wonderful. He's got the best stuff. And he's the most talented guy. Oh my goodness.
And he's a great guitar player. He's a fantastic guitar player.
Yes.
I told Ginger when this is done, I said, you're going to cry
Sweet.
when this is done because you're not going to believe how good it sounds.
It's already there.
Right.
It's
Wow.
already there.
And it's still a rough mix. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
and they're just picking it over now. And they're pretty much done. We got a
Wow.
lap steel. We got a pedal steel guy coming tomorrow, and
Are they still playing?
yeah, they're still playing.
Oh, are they? I was going to take them in and just like show them the
Oh, you
studio.
should. You could.
Well, not if they're busy.
Why
And
not?
Jim's in there. I don't want to beat him up. You know what I mean?
It's about to the end. You can go in there and show them. They're expecting.
I might get sued. I don't want to put anybody on camera that doesn't want to be on there. Then they're going to sue me. No?
No, you ought to do it. So,
I'll go before we're done. I'll take him in there because
Yeah, that's totally up to you. I don't
You
think
can see the whole studio, you know.
And if somebody doesn't want to be on camera, I can always cut it out. It's fine.
No, everybody in there is egotistical and want to be on camera. So,
yeah, all right.
yeah.
All right.
You have to have some ego to be a
You
musician.
gotta be
do.
an egotistical
You do.
bastard.
You do.
John, it's so good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other thing we were talking about today was, you know, about you guys
Oh, yeah.
podcasting, of course, Chuck and Jason. I mean, without those two guys, the purgatory thing we did anyway, that
Yeah.
never happens. Never. If
Yeah,
they
well-
didn't interview Gene and
Yeah.
John saw it, if that doesn't happen, none of that's me and Gene and
Yeah.
Dave Abel and whoever can go out and record purgatory songs. And if John's not on it, it's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? So
That
so for him,
Purgatory record is so incredible. It's actually one of the first things I purchased because I'm late to the Iced Earth community.
oh really?
One of the first things I listened to.
That's really like the latest thing John really did. With the
Yeah,
numbers.
well, I bought up after January 6th, I bought up everything that I could on Amazon, and then I bought up a bunch of other things. But I mean, I did have some Iced Earth records and everything, but I really started getting much more into it after I knew what was going on with him politically. So I'm very late to the game. I was more of a Demons and Wizards fan, so
still kind of there.
Hey, you got your record though from me and Seven Servant, right?
I absolutely love it. I love
Yep.
that teal. Yeah. I have the Purgatory vinyl too. I just don't have it right next to me.
All right.
That's okay. I don't have mine right next to me either.
I just want to be sure you both got your record.
I'm so happy. I really wanted that teal version. Thank you so very much.
Very welcome.
It's such a great album, John. It really
Thank
is.
you so much. I'm working on the next one. I just got a brand new Marshall amplifier. It's
Still in the box at his
still in the
house.
box, waiting for me to get home. So
Well, I hope God calls, and I hope that you get that record done soon.
me too. Me too. It's coming. It's coming.
Yep.
He wanted me to help Ginger. Ginger helped me so much with my record. She stood by me through the whole damn thing, really. So it was my obligation to her to stand by her.
Nice.
She just got these songs too from up above, man. Just while we got stranded in Texas. We got
Really?
stuck out in the desert for like a month.
She was telling me about these songs, and I'm like, this is when y'all were taking those TV sets out to California. You were telling me all these stories while you were
Yeah.
there.
We broke down up there.
Wow.
Yeah, we broke
Right.
down in West Texas,
El Paso.
outside of El Paso. El Paso, there was nothing out there, man.
Oh.
Nice.
We were in Monahans, Texas, right next to Pecos. You know Pecos.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Rattlesnakes, coyotes, tumbleweeds,
That's fine.
oil wells as far as you could see.
Wow.
Yeah, that place is, the wind never stops blowing. It's blowing all the time. You feel like you're getting sandblasted all the time.
I don't
Wow.
think they're doing anything, are they?
No, you can probably go in there now.
I just don't want to
Hey,
bother.
Bill.
They're working. Yes, sir.
There any chance there'll ever be any unearthed stuff coming out?
There's always a chance.
Well, I mean, you can never say never, but
There's always a chance as long as we're alive.
yeah. I mean, I don't see it happening, but you never know. You never know. Things happen. Crazy
Okay.
things happen. I would like to. No, it was
How
fun.
did that project come about? Like, just out of curiosity.
Well, it was actually Dave and Gene at first, and they had a couple of things, and then Gene kind of dropped out a little bit, and then I guess me and Dave were just kind of bored, and I hadn't seen Dave in years. He said, "Hey, man, you should just come over and we could jam," and it just kind of turned into a kind of a thing, you know. It's fun. It's fun.
It's a very good album. It's very good.
Well, I
I was just
appreciate that.
And you know what? He inspired me to make my record too.
That's great.
Because it was so hard for him to get it all together, get everybody together, and get the money together, and to get it done. It's so freaking hard.
People, it's not easy.
It's really not.
It's not.
When I asked Bill, I said, "Man, you spent a lot of money." He said, "I spent a lot of money." So I knew what to expect going into it, you know. But he pushed through and got it done. I was like, okay, I'm pushing through my record and getting it done too. So I did, and he really led the way up for me a lot on that.
And speaking of Unearthed, we all need to say a little prayer for Dave because he's on the mend right now. He went through some pretty major.
Dave had a heart attack and
triple bypass.
Had a triple bypass. We almost lost Dave.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, he almost died.
Yes, we say a prayer for him.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I saw that on your page, John, and I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope he does well.
Yeah,
and we're praying for him.
He was here.
Yeah,
the first time through on these songs, and they were recording them, and he was here. Wow. And I think he was kind of fighting something at that point.
He kept asking me for aspirin because his chest was hurt.
Scary.
So I give him aspirin and it went away. He would do okay. And then when he went home, he'd start feeling that way again. So he actually was at the hospital when it happened, or he would have been dead.
Thank God he went to the hospital in time.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it.
All right.
Yeah, he went code red when he was in the hospital already sitting there. They were triaging him for something else because he was having problems.
Oh my goodness.
So he ended up upside down and on the doctor's table there, and they cut him up, put new plumbing in.
Hey, you guys want to see the studio?
Yeah.
We'll give you a Morristown virtual thing, whatever you call that thing.
Sounds good to me.
Door handle right there. Yeah. Leaving the lounge. Let's make sure. Oh yeah, this is what I was telling you about. Can you see that?
Wow, awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You don't care about this anyway, sure.
Right. There, we have to be really quiet if they're doing things. Say hello, Carlos. You're talking to the world right now.
Hey.
He's one of the engineers here, and this is the funkometer. AO, there's Ginger, Jim Morris, hard at work. He'll ignore us. Here's the guitars we're using.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, these things are
sweet.
I just saw these things 5 years ago, and I never noticed they were total BS. All our funkometer and funk logic.
Pumping good.
Algorithmic prosecutor. It's actually nothing at all.
Wow.
So, but yeah, this studio is really cool. It kind of reminds me of like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Wow.
You know, the portholes and everything. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are isolation booths. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Go inside the booth.
Turn the light on, John. On the right there. Should be right there. No? Oh, there we go. So this is it.
Wow.
Isn't it cool?
Oh, nice.
Legendary.
It really kind of is. And like I said, they're having that big thing for them on May 16th, where they're dedicating that Morristown property, historic landmark.
Wow. How good for them. Good for them.
Hey, Jim, they're speaking to the world.
Nice.
Hey,
All right, we're going to get out of here because we're bugging them. So back to the lounge.
So I was talking to Gene. We did an interview with Gene here a little while back, and I asked him. I said, "Are there any of those places around like y'all guys played back in the day?" And he's like, "Man, most of that stuff's like not even here anymore and stuff." So It was funny for like you were saying that y'all like used to live like about 2 blocks from the studio or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's so ironic when we did that EP. I can't remember what the guy's name was. Holger, somebody from Germany came over here. I mean, with like a whole camera team and all kinds of stuff, and we were like driving them around, like showing them where we lived and where we used to play it. And I guess John didn't end up liking it or something, but it's never going to come out. But I mean, they put a lot of time in that thing, and they were talking about just those very things you were talking about,
Yeah.
where we used to
Yeah.
play and all that kind of stuff. It would have been neat to see it, but John, he said, "Nah, I didn't like the way they did it." So that was the end of that.
I bet if he didn't think it looked good, it probably didn't.
Oh, I know. And he, just from, I mean, you guys know him. He's not going to settle. Like,
Nope.
oh, it's good enough. You would never hear him say, "Oh, it's good enough." Nope. If it's not what he wanted, it's not happening. So
Yep.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen it, though, even if it was rough. I mean, I wouldn't show it to anybody, but I'd like to see it. I mean, they followed us around for 3 days.
Yeah.
There was plenty of stuff.
Just for at least
Yeah.
personal purposes, I can
Well,
understand.
yeah, I just was
that.
curious to see what it looked like, but he just said they didn't do it like he wanted them to. So anyway, is there anything else? I mean, you guys, I think we kind of drifted off the purgatory thing, if that's what y'all were.
We were a little bit. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
I
figured John Greely was good enough. If I brought him in, that's a get out of jail free card, right?
No, it's great. I figured I would ask.
Oh, no,
I'm sure some people have heard. Maybe they've heard the story before, but maybe there's some people who haven't. How did you meet Jon Schaffer, and what made you guys start playing in a band together?
It was it's 1986. Anyway, it was just a mutual friend of John and mine, and she says, "Oh, you should talk to these friends of mine, John and Greg. They're these 2 guys from Indiana. They're looking for a guitar player." And I'm like, "Really?" And sadly, like a week before that, all my equipment had just gotten stolen: amps, guitars, everything. So my friend, anyway, let me borrow a guitar, and I used his guitar for the first 6 months. Met him through a mutual friend, and it happened kind of fast. I mean, I just went over there and played 2 blocks from where we are right now. He and Greg were already living there, and went over there and met him and played 4 or 5 songs with him, and it's like I never left. That was it. Pretty cool. They
nice.
yeah, it was really awesome. And they had already, I guess, John and Greg had already met Gene and Richard Bateman a week or so before that. So they were already planning on meeting up with them. And Gene and Richard had some songs, and John and Greg had some songs. So when we started jamming, we already had like 10 songs we could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the shame of that purgatory thing. I mean, we could do, we
Nice.
still have 20 songs left we could do.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a silly question to ask because you don't really know, but there's potential for another Purgatory album.
Like we were just saying, you never know. That depends on how John feels with where, there's a lot of things that go into it.
Of course.
But you could never say never, but I don't, I wouldn't.
I'd love to hear some of the extra stuff.
I would too. There's a bunch of them we'd like to still do. It's just maybe one day we'll see. Because I think people would like it. I really couldn't believe. Well, I mean, I knew they were good songs, but that EP really, I mean, every physical copy that was made got sold. All of it, everything. That's crazy.
Really, it really is.
It's remarkable that it sold that well. It's really cool. I think there would have definitely been a demand for some more.
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I honestly, when I first heard it, like I said, it was one of the earlier pieces of my Iced Earth collection. Right. And my friend who was, he's the one my friend Metal Dave, who got me into Iced Earth, it was like, this is nothing like what Iced Earth really sounds like. I was like, this is the coolest stuff I've ever heard. I really, really enjoyed that record.
Appreciate it. I was talking with Greely. Well, he's staying at my house. Don't let him fool you. He's just down here to paint my mom's house. That's all they're doing. He's going to paint my mom. I'm telling you the truth. That's 100% true. But we were talking about Storm Rider, and I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm a big Iced Earth because I'm an expert because
Sure.
I'm the farthest from that. But I mean, a lot of there's 3 or 4 I can't name them off the top of my head on that. Storm Rider, that's a purgatory song. Mystical End, that's a purgatory song. What was the other one? I forget what they called it, but we had a song called Haunted House. That's on that record. It's something else. It's called something. But I mean, you know what I mean. Purgatory was it was still John's head.
Yeah.
It was heavily all over all of that stuff.
Yeah.
He was writing that stuff. So it was already him,
Yeah, sure. So do you pick up the guitar at all anymore? Are you doing anything on your
No,
own,
just
or?
that's my house, and this is John just asked me to, come by and check it out. Like I said, they're staying at my house while they're here. So I just like coming here. It's fun watching people do this. It's a fun, but me personally, I'm not just doing anything. I'm not professionally, but I just play my guitar at my house. That's for younger guys.
Yeah, sure.
You know what
Well,
I
at least
mean?
you still pick it up. It's good. It's a
No,
cool hobby.
absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess John's done this with you guys before. I don't know that I've seen that one.
Well, I just want to say,
Yeah, I can send you the episode. I'll inbox the episode. John came on a couple weeks ago. You're actually our follow-up guest.
Oh,
right
cool.
after John.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a hard act to follow.
No, I was just gonna say, man, that Purgatory EP, man, it's like I love that record. I could listen to that thing like multiple times a day.
I appreciate that. I really do. You were asking earlier. I mean, of course, the main difference is we did those songs when I bet you to record all 3 of those songs, which was Jack in Jason's Mind, and then when we put out that horror show demo, that was the same recording of Jack and in Jason's Mind, and we just stuck Dracula on it and released it as another demo. But I bet we didn't have $5,000 total in all 3. It may be $2,000 in all 3 of those songs. So better plan, just being able to do it better, a lot better. So.
Yeah. It definitely sounds excellent. It's an excellent recording.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just like I told Ginger, I couldn't believe it when it was done. I was like, man, this turned out so good. When I went, I recorded all my stuff at Jim's house. So when I went over there, John was there, and we were just starting to listen to some of the rough things. That was me just coming over there so John could give me some stuff to take home and like start practicing for when we got to the studio. But I was just listening to the rough stuff that John had done in his studio up in Indiana. I'm like, man, that is awesome. It's like, who do you got? Who's that playing drums? He goes, oh, that's a drum program. He goes, we're going to have a real drummer. I'm like, oh, okay. I was curious because he goes, nah, dude, we're going to have a real drummer. Don't worry about that. It was I couldn't even believe it myself how it sounded. It really sounded beyond what I could have imagined. Jim did a great job, and John.
Definitely one of the best. I love the artwork on the other side of.
I've never seen that before. That etching, I've never seen that.
They do that. They've done it on some record. I'm trying to remember. I have something else that they did it on, but it wasn't Iced Earth related. But yeah, it seems to be a big thing that John has been doing lately with.
Well, all of that is like releasing in 5 different colors on vinyl. That's straight up marketing right there.
Absolutely, because then everybody wants
the Iced Earth collector. See, and that was the other lucky thing. Of course, it did well because anybody that the Iced Earth fans were going to have an interest in that, guaranteed for sure. They're going to want to get it, and if those collectors, and I've met a few of them, and I never even was in the band, that I guarantee you bought all 5 of those albums just because they were different colors. Because
I'm-
they wanted every single one.
Yes, they did. I'm so glad that Jon showed his loyalty to you guys by bringing you back to do that EP too. Like, it was really like, I'm just so happy he did that. Like, it's very rare that you see artists go back and reach out to their former bandmates and want to do something, like that.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
I'm so happy he did that, and I'm just so happy that you were a part of it. Because then we get to know you and we get to hear your guitar work, and
He realized
Yep.
that was, I mean, not the biggest ever, but I'm sure that was kind of a pivotal point in his. I don't know how much longer he and Greg were going to stay down here. It was all just kind of like a perfect storm, because they were young. They were young down here, putting roofs up or what, and just crazy. They were super young, and I don't know how much longer they were going to stay if they hadn't met Gene and Richard at least. Because it was tough, man. There was nothing, and he remembers that. We went through some. It definitely wasn't iced earth, I'll tell you that. When you're eating ramen noodles and hoping somebody brings beer over or something like that, it was tough.
yeah,
But he remembers that. That was a band. That was a,
Yeah.
and like I said, we all lived together. It was, he remembers that. I get it.
What was it like working with Richard Bateman?
Fantastic. He was, I think he was even a little bit younger than John and Greg when I met him. He might have only been 17, but he was already way better on his instrument than any of us were, for sure. I'm just looking at this kid and I'm like, damn, this guy plays like Steve Harris. Are you kidding me? How old is he?
Wow.
But no, he was, and then he did the Unearthed thing with us later too. That was, he's a great bass player. Really good. Really, really good. It was good to work with him. Good to work with him.
It's a shame that he passed away. It really is.
Yeah, I can. That one really was tough especially with all the circumstances around it. Was just, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I miss him all the time, man. He was a good brother. I miss him.
Oh.
Miss him a lot.
Well, I'm very sorry. I'm very.
Well, I appreciate it. He,
Yeah.
like I said, a great player. All of that stuff. Who is this? Oh, I'm sitting at his desk. Are we good? Getting ready to get the bouncer and throw me out of here.
Okay. Well.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we're good. Good. We are good. Are they done? Almost close. One last one.
How exciting, though.
No, it is. It really is, and I'm glad Jon told you about it. I didn't know he was going to tell you about it. You should just wait. You should just wait. Her stuff is so good. It really is. I'm not a big country fan, and I'm humming this stuff. I'm telling you, it's like
wow.
So how long? No, you're good. I was just wondering how long were you in for?
Just a little over 2 years, like right at 2 years. It wasn't that long, But I saw Jon a bunch of times throughout the years, after that. But I wasn't in the band that long because I came in '86 and into '86, and I think by '88 I was out. So, all right, what do you think? Is it your office or something?
Real quick, back to Ginger's project. Does she have a name for the project, or is it just going to be Ginger Sizemore?
I'm not sure.
You don't know.
I'm just listening to they're putting it together. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it, but it's really good. I hope it doesn't just, and I don't think it will. But this business is so, without giving you the same old sob story, this is a crazy business, and sometimes it makes no sense.
Oh, I know.
Talent has nothing to do with it sometimes. Most of it's luck. I mean, you could be the most talented, and if you're not in the right place at the right time, it may not happen, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
But
It
I'm
really is.
excited for y'all to hear it. I mean, I really think it's. And I started
Yeah.
listening to that, and then about a week before John was, telling me they were coming down and let me listen to some stuff, I've been listening also to this guy, Billy Strings. You ever heard of that guy?
Yes.
He's like a bluegrass player. This guy plays the shit out of this guitar. Holy cow, he is so good. And I'm like, how did I never hear it? Well, I don't listen to bluegrass. But I mean, he's won like 2 Grammys. This guy's the real thing, you know?
Yeah, he's the real deal for sure. I've been,
Yeah.
They even mentioned him on the Howard Stern show, and I was surprised. I was like, how the heck? I said, okay, they're paying attention at least to guitar work. That's good.
Well, I did when I started getting into. I saw him on a Rick Beato. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's always like interviewing guitar players. Blah, blah.
Okay.
Well, he had Billy Strings on there, and I'm just sitting there listening to it, and I said, and he was just playing while he was sitting there. I go, wow, he's really good. So I started like looking up stuff for him on YouTube. I mean, when you go see him live, he's playing like Black Sabbath, Jimi Hendrix, ZZ Top. I mean, War Pigs, all plus the bluegrass stuff. But I mean, he plays everything.
Yep.
It's really cool. He just played here. What was it? First week in April. And this was a venue at University of South Florida. It holds like 20,000 people. It was sellout.
Wow.
So I mean, he's for real.
That's impressive. That's
and that was like a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's the real thing. I just, where the hell have I been? I didn't hear nothing about him.
Yeah, I've only recently heard about him too. But yeah, he's excellent, absolutely excellent.
Great player.
So, Bill, how long have you been friends with John Greely for?
I met Greely right about the time Dave was doing the Unearthed stuff.
Okay.
And he says, "Oh, my friend John Greely, the Storm Rider guy, is coming down," and he was going to like doing some rehearsals with Joe Diaz in Nellis County, and so we just went over there to hang out with him, and that was probably 2000. I've probably known Greely 20 years.
Wow.
Like personally, I met him with Dave, and I was looking at some pictures, and Dave had his head shaved by that point, so we were already in Unearthed, so it had to be like 2005 or 2004,
Yeah.
So
wow.
I've known him for a little bit, John's a good guy. He's a good friend.
He seems like it.
No, he really is. He really is.
Yep.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
The craziest thing to me about the whole purgatory thing is like how many people, and I know it's because, John garners a lot of attention, just because of everything he's done. But these people that know all these things about that band, and I'm thinking, you weren't even born when that was going on. How the heck do you know that? You're talking about something that happened in the mid 1980s, and you're 20 years old. You weren't even born yet. So they're hungry for any little thing they can get their hands on,
Yeah, they are. I was born in the mid-80s.
Do you have a favorite Iced Earth record?
I don't know. I mean, I got some songs of theirs that I like, but like I said, I am not by any means an Iced Earth aficionado. I like, like Burning Times is a great song. Seems like there's a bunch of good stuff on that. What is that? Something Wicked.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff on that. I like that stuff. First album, I kind of like it because the first album kind of reminds me of just the feel of it. Like it's more polished, but it's still almost Purgatory,
Yeah.
Almost. It was only a year or two after, so. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that I have a favorite by any means. I like the songs. I like the song Iced Earth. I mean, what's that song they call, it's the instrumental. I can't remember what they call it. Oh,
1776.
That's
Is it
Purgatory.
Enter the Room?
Yeah, I know.
We
Oh.
wrote that in Purgatory. That was the instrumental we played at the beginning of everything we played. So that's even a Purgatory song.
I remember seeing some video of you guys rehearsing that, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's 1776.
Yeah. Yes, it is. You know, it's funny. You see him playing it at Vakken, and there's like 200,000 people there. It's like, that's a trip. We used to play that in the Sunset Club in Tampa in front of like
Wow.
50 people.
Incredible.
You know,
Yeah.
it's different. So, are you guys got anybody lined up for? Somebody ought to get Jim on one of these things. I mean, he's probably been closer to John than just about anybody over the last, well, John's career.
I have some people in mind, some people that have agreed to come on,
Mhm.
and some people I haven't asked, but I'm like 100% sure they'll show up on the show.
Cool.
I'm just I'm waiting for them to maybe have something to promote or something. So, but yeah, I mean, we got some people in mind for
Right
sure.
on. Right on. These things they're really cool. Like I said, if Chuck and Jason hadn't done theirs, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. I guarantee you.
I know. They were very instrumental in making that Purgatory album happen. And, like we do this in spirit of what they did.
Sure.
I understand why they felt they needed to bow out for a while.
We all went crazy.
Some people were having personal problems, and then, and then what happened with John and everything, and everybody kind of,
I can't blame them one bit.
they didn't know what to do. I think there was material to discuss, but that's where I came in, and I saw a lot of things happening in the media that I didn't agree with, and
Yeah.
so there's a group of people for each task,
Oh,
But
yeah.
John certainly has
Yeah.
a team of people that really care and want to get his stuff out there and keep the Iced Earth community, close knit. Like, that's what we're trying to do. I mean, you guys, like you're saying, it's like a big family,
It kind of is,
everybody
Kinda is.
knows everybody, everybody's friendly with everybody. It's really great.
Yeah.
And we all have John to thank for that in a way,
Oh, yeah. 100%. In every way.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It was all definitely his thing. I mean, this was a hit. Purgatory, I'm just speaking for that. I mean, that was his band.
Yeah.
100%. He wrote most of the songs. I helped him write some songs, little parts here and there, whatever. But, that was all his stuff. And he's like one of the only people. I was probably 23 and he was like 18. But he was already, he told me what he was going to do one night sitting in our living room when we were probably ready to pass out drunk. But he said, this band's going to be big. This is going to be big. And, this and that. And this is when he was 18. And, well, he kind of did it,
Yeah.
He did it. He totally did it.
He worked hard, and the payoff came.
And then there were some tough times, but, he got through it. And then he was headlining the Open Air Fest, So there you go.
Yeah.
He definitely did it.
He had the drive,
Totally. 100%.
Yep.
Let me see. I'm trying to see how much battery I got left on my phone.
Like 2%.
Yeah, things run
like
down
20
quick now.
Yeah, it's like 20, but
yeah.
Anyway, well, listen, I appreciate you guys. I think these guys are wrapping up in here, and they may be getting ready to kick me out. But thanks for having me. And if you ever want to, if I can help you get a hold of somebody or something, I try to give you a hand. Or
sounds good, Bill. Thank you so much for everything today.
Thanks. I hope you
we
got
appreciate it, man.
I hope you got to ask what you wanted to. I think I kind of distracted the whole thing a little bit, but I thought throwing Greely in here would be cool.
Oh, no.
No, you didn't distract it at all. We had a wonderful time.
Good.
No, it's awesome.
Good. I really appreciate it. And thanks for y'all's interest in the music and all that stuff. It doesn't go unnoticed. Doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of the night. Enjoy.
All right. You too. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right,
When's
thanks,
it?
Bill.
Just
Appreciate
let me
it.
know, I guess, when it's going to come on or whatever. And
I sure as hell will send it to you.
thanks, guys.
See
Yep.
you soon.
Good night.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, Bill. Have a good one. Night.
Y'all too.